Anyway, so up until February 23rd, and this is the accurate information, only 1.8% of the budget was spent, right? There's a lot of poor record keeping with the government, right? And that gives you the perception of irregularities and, so people are thief things and pocket things.
So
Even
that's
if
the
that,
man. That's the first man we go around it.
Let me finish now, sir.
You see, if you
didn't let me finish from before, you wouldn't find yourself with your foot in your mouth right now. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Never.
So all we are saying is...
We're not freaky. Continue.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, it is very possible to set them a pocket money. We don't know, right? Because we don't have that.
Representing for 4BD. It's all about the best in men's fashion. Ladies, come here and get your men some amazing clothes. Men, come fix up yourself and nice up for your life. And your wife and all these things. Look here, this nice scene. Ooh, yes, honey. There's something man so weird. 4BD. This is where you have to be. No clothes. No.
Welcome to the Common Sense Podcast. Common Sense, make it make sense. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Spotify at Common Sense University, as well as on all our socials at Common Sense University as well. Well, we have a big one today. Witta the legend. We have Witta the legend in the place. When we say big one, we're talking about the discussion and, and not about the host. Witta, what go on?
Over the little short space that's how you got on comedian. Alright, I'm gonna tell Kevin Hart to look out for you,
Yeah.
As I said, people common sense make sense, current affairs, but we in Jackson territory, you know what I mean? Is the known politician, you know what I mean? We call him Paul Book, we call him all of these politician names, but it more look like Paul Book. So make sure you comment while we are reason. Don't be afraid to comment. Make sure you like, repost. Help us grow. You're the society, you're the viewers. You know what I mean? Help us grow indeed. Yes, Jackson. It's a whole lot of things that go on.
A whole heap of things are going on. While our boss come back with the same foolish again this week. Anyway. All right. So
go on.
this week we're talking about we have a few topics, but we are kick it off with the hot topic right now.
Good afternoon. If I make my first sectoral speech, for my portfolio.
Hold on. Standing orders. And I think you are fully aware. And if I have to stop you again during your presentation, you will not get any additional time. No, and she knows.
Juliet Holness versus Nekeisha Burchell. Miss Burchell. Pastor daughter. Right? She's speaking Patois in Parliament. What do you think about that with her?
So first we have to look into the entire thing as it relates to our local language, which we call Patois. And we have to look on the reason why she stopped her. So based on the stance 6, once you're making a presentation, you have to make it in standard English. So one would argue that she's actually upholding the standard of the house. So is it that we should reprimand her, or get the outrage should be against her, or we should outrage against changing that? As it relates to Nekeisha now, she is representing the culture, and she's starting the speech with her native language, because it's really what? Culture. You know what I mean? So we pointing out that. And what I think, how she could go about it, instead of the bullying and shouting at Nekeisha, she could say, listen, Nekeisha, hoping that your presentation will continue in the correct order based on stance 6, instead of cutting off right away like she's discussed with our local language. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it could have been
done.
Say
a few things I want to go still, But before you move on, I don't want to go too deep. Before you move on, you said bullying. How did she bully the member of parliament?
Well, we all know that when it comes to those of parliament, there's a lot of bullying going that happening there. You know, like it's a shouting match. And it's not just Jamaica, we see it happen a lot of different places. But in this case, why it sticks out like a sore toe is the fact that she wasn't doing anything or trying to be disruptive. She was just starting our greetings in our native,
Yeah.
or better yet, our patois, right? So I'm saying that she could come across and make it more clear because then it wouldn't bring this outrage. But we all know that a lot of bullying and shouting match. We saw this even happening with her and her husband. We'll get this later.
A different
The
something I
Prime
can't
Minister.
know. Anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't agree about the bullying part still. She make a statement and you saw the video a while ago, right? So,
Mhm.
as the House Speaker, right? Her duties are basically preserving the order, right? Preserving the order, ruling on points and also managing debates, right? But we want to stick on the preserving order section because
Mhm.
for her, the orders that she's preserving is basically the orders in the what do I call it now? The standing order for Parliament, right? And
Mhm.
standing order 6 says that Jamaican House of Representatives should use the English language in their presentations, right? So I
Mhm.
think I don't think she was out of place for stop her. I say, oh, so really and truly, English language you're supposed to attack, right? Which is what she did. And she also let her know, hey, if you continue on that, therefore stop your presentation, right? But at the same time now, if Nekeisha decided that okay, she wanted to do that, I mean, it wasn't too long ago. I think somebody was speaking Spanish or something like that in Parliament,
Jackson,
right? Oh no, man, let me
Jackson.
finish, man. Let me
Let's be
finish. Me
frank.
never interrupt you. Me
Every
never
time
interrupt
there's
you.
a meeting in the House of Parliament, she herself talk patois when they shout at each other. So what you
Mm.
say?
Me
But
never interrupt you.
okay, go ahead,
So
go
let
ahead.
me continue. Let me continue.
Yeah, you interrupt me still
Deal?
now, because you tell me say no, I'm going
Let me
too far into
continue.
the reasoning. But continue.
So, so, we feel like say if Nekeisha wanted to speak patois for the entire thing, want to do the entire presentation in a patois, she should have just make everybody know, and get the approval standing order 86, where you basically, disregard a specific rule for a specific period of time.
Years
She could have
ago,
done that, but
when the state minister, Mr. Terrelong, spoke Spanish, and Mr. Warmington got up and stopped him and said, well, no, Parliament, what is it? It's number 6, I think it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
standing order.
Yeah, a standing order 6, and says you're supposed to speak. And the same Speaker of the House said he got permission before, and she suspended the standing order so he could do that. Well, Mr. Warmington never buy that, by the way. Did you get permission to speak patois before?
I think the people gave me permission,
yeah,
but to
she
be...
could have done that, but she decided not to because guess what? She wanted to bring her point across, which is what she continued on to discuss after that. And I think, it kind of did a disservice to her because guess what? You see, because what she did, the focus is not on what she said after, but what that little 5-second clickbait. That is what people are focusing on. But she had a very powerful speech. She's a very intelligent young lady. But, I think she's being a little bit disingenuous when she say, oh, let me continue in the Queen's language because obviously the patois is not, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, is not accepted here in the House of. You know this. This is a standing order.
Jackson, you're behaving like you're behaving like Miss Holness now. Because this is how you're behaving like her.
Yeah.
You asked me a question, right? And when I was answering and being more detailed so you don't come talk these things that you're saying, you cut me off and said, hold on, I don't want to get in the deep in it. The lady was less than 10 seconds in her presentation.
Yeah. And she stopped her and say, listen.
Hold on.
She can't read mine. Can she read mine? How she know so she not go do the entire conversation?
If you see what I'm talking about, you behave like her. I see why you like them so much. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, man, that's why I like woman. Continue.
Like them, the jail fee. You want
the
to
woman
be
them.
No, if she's giving a greeting to go into the presentation. Because if you realize when she actually stopped her, she cut out the greeting and go straight in the presentation. That was in standard English. And we don't want to be hypocritical, right? Because there are a lot of times when they're not speaking no standard English in Parliament. Even
And that's
in their
facts.
presentation, there are a lot of times in their presentation they're not speaking standard English. So if you want to say that what she was being picky or it was argumentative, it would have come from both sides. Both
Right.
sides was being that way, right? For me, both sides would have been that way. But let's talk about let's move it from them, right? We still talk about how she go at the Prime Minister husband. We soon get to that part there. And you understand the bullyism when I'm talking about. Let's talk about there are some things that the colonialism, that's the word, as relates to colonialism that is happening in our present parliament. We're still wearing the wigs, the white wigs. We're still doing a lot of things. And I have to question myself and ask, are we actually independent? Yeah? Is it so serious? That's if I start my greeting at my presentation, like Miss Lord said, well, go on, me people.
Yeah.
I should be instantly shut down because a stand 6 that was made years ago. These are civilized. Some of these things need to be revised. If we should look on the fact that if we are an independent country, we can still be doing things like back in the days where our black, powerful men and women are wearing wigs to act like they're white. You know what I mean? And this is why I think we've had a discussion about this. If the Patois should be a language that is taken serious and be like a second language to us, because it is okay when the government is using Patois to sell tourism.
Yeah.
But it's not okay to greet your brothers and sisters or your comrades or whatever you call each other.
I don't think anybody call each other comrade, but continue.
Or each other, what I want to call each other in Parliament. Come on, I think it's rather absurd. I don't know. What you think?
Me hear your point. And that is where I'm going to agree with you still, right? And we already had this discussion on our previous podcast where we were talking about the importance of Patois and basically whether or not it should be a standardized language, right? I think eventually we are going to get there, but we're not there yet. So until we're there, we have to adhere by the rules, right?
Look, but sometimes there are outrage like this make we realize that we need to be there now.
Absolutely agree. But until the rules change, we have to abide by the rules. I just saw it said. And comment people in the comment section. Comment, man. Can look past something like weed when people used to smoke and them thing there. Well, people still have smoke, but I mean, like, it used to be illegal. Right? And people did still do it. But we say, we don't need to change the rule. And them change the rule. So I'm just saying this is something similar to that where the rule is in place, until that rule is changed.
Your comparison is absurd, sir. Sir Paul Bob, your comparison absurd. Listen to what I'm saying. You're putting the comparison with something that is illegal. Is our native language illegal?
No, it's not illegal.
It's absurd.
It's not illegal, but the point that I was trying to make is that
the comparison is very far. So probably need to retract and go again, sir.
We're talking about rules, right? And rules are in society for a reason. Now, whether or not the rules are current and it makes sense to how we're living nowadays is up for discussion. But that if the end of the day, if the rule is still in place, then we still follow the rule, right? Until it changes. So until that rule changes, which is stand 6 in the standing order, that presentations must be done in English. I think that is where that is. But yeah, comment down below if you don't agree. If you agree, we know on that thing because at the end of the day, we know say.
So what do you think about the part when she go toe to toe with the Prime Minister husband?
When who go toe to toe with the Prime Minister husband?
No,
with the Prime Minister's husband.
With her husband. I said her husband. I don't say he's gonna stop work now.
Bro, it's what you said. You said the Prime Minister husband.
I don't know
what
do
you're
you
talking
think when
about.
she went toe to toe with her husband? The people
With her husband. Okay, there you go.
No, better say,
At the end of the day, it was bound to happen, right? She is the Speaker of the House. Again, she's charged with upholding and preserving order in the Parliament, right? So if
the Prime Minister was out of order.
He probably was. I don't know. I didn't study.
Let me say go watch a clip. So on, we go insert the clip here, people. I leave you. I don't want him to discuss something that he didn't actually see.
No practice in respect of point of order. I am going to allow you to go ahead. I'm going to recirculate what really is a point of order.
Yes, thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise on a point of order. The Minister has selectively quoted an excerpt from Hansard, which to make a point, which is misleading the House.
This is a point of order on which I rise. If the member will yield. Madam Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition rose on a point of order. What is your ruling, Madam Speaker?
Well, you know already, Prime Minister, this is not a point of order.
What order of the House of debate was breached?
No.
If the Leader of the Opposition continues
the House is not a point of order.
Actually, see. Immediately, let me put him live on the line feed, guys.
No. Me hear about it still, but all I'm saying is if he was out of order, meaning that he did not abide by whatever rules they have in Parliament, then she would have to step in. It is definitely a conflict of interest. Let's say that right away. But at the same time,
I'm glad
I'm glad that she stood up and say, "Oh, all right, you are going." You see what you say right now, it don't make no sense. I say it's supposed to go based on whatever the rules are of the House. So if anything, she actually displayed that there is. She was able to step outside of that conflict of interest and address it in the proper way.
I'm glad you mentioned the conflict of interest. Imagine if this is stemming from a disagreement that they have at home.
Exactly. We don't know, right?
Yeah. So this is definitely a conflict of interest.
Let's move on to another topic.
Move on, man. You go on, move on.
You want to continue? What is there to discuss about that?
I tell you, so you're really a politician. Okay, just cut me off. All
right, let's do. What else you want to discuss? Get your point across.
No, I'm just saying. Let's emphasize on the conflict of interest because we are talking about rules that can be revised, and this is something that I definitely think they should revise.
Yeah.
The person that regulates is actually her, and at the same time, she's the wife of the Prime Minister. So if we are talking about revising certain type of thing, this is something also I want. Again, this is my opinion. So if you don't agree in the comment section, you can let me know. So you don't agree and why, and if you need to, impart some knowledge to me, go ahead. We'd love it. We'd appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. You feel more comfortable for me to move on now?
I mean, it sounds like you're saying that she should step down. Is that what you're saying?
In many cases, if I said it's a conflict of interest, she should step down.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are calling for that.
Company or business running with conflict of interest. You know the right thing as a businessman to do.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I don't think she should have been appointed to that role in the first place. Because again, conflict of interest. But you see, in this Jamaica land we love, a whole heap of things. A whole heap of things need to fix up.
Remember this word, conflict of interest. Can I come up again? Go on. You can move on.
Yeah, as I said, in the world of Jamaica land we love, a whole heap of things need to fix up. And talking about things that need to fix up, Hurricane Melissa, we still talk about this. Much month now, 8 months later. But we heard that on all of the news outlets that there is a 2%. Sorry, that only 2% of the Hurricane Melissa reliefs has been spent according to the Auditor General reports. Only 2% of those reliefs have been spent.
The Auditor General report found that despite receiving more than $1.4 billion in cash donations for Hurricane Melissa, Only $26 million, just 1.8%, had been spent as of February this year. Millions more collected after Hurricane Beryl also remained untouched. ODPEM told auditors the low spending resulted from the absence of approval from the Ministry of Finance to access the funds. But the concerns in the report go beyond unspent money. Of the $122 million in materials reportedly delivered to the Jamaica Defense Force locations, only $88 million worth was formally acknowledged as received. The remaining $34 million in supplies had no signed delivery slips or goods received notes confirming delivery. ODPEM reported that more than 400 roofs were repaired under the program. However, auditors say they could not fully confirm that claim. The report says no documentation was provided showing how beneficiaries were selected, how households were verified and approved.
Jamaica, the $1.44 billion is not the real number. You've been distracted. You've been staring at one bucket while the entire ocean is behind it. Everybody's arguing about 1.8% and that only $26 million have been used. Jamaica, that's one fund, one account, one piece of the hurricane money. You see the real money? The real number is $138.7 billion, Jamaica. Not 1.44 billion, but $138.7 billion, Jamaica. And that changes the conversation. Because now the question is, Jamaica, out of that $138.7 billion, how much have it reached the people?
What do you think about that, Wita? You think that is good enough?
What them say, I think it's a less than 2%.
1.8.
I think some time ago we had a discussion about the stages that we suggested that we can actually, look for the government to take after the hurricane hit Jamaica, and we're discussing stages and the time frame. So at this current stage, 8 months after, for us not to at least reach 40 to 50% in the budget and taking a lot of initiative is a very questionable situation. And we talk about conflict of interest. Who is in charge of approving these things?
Who is in charge of approving it?
Who's the head of it?
Well, the ones that they are referring to is what was put in front of Parliament to get approved.
And who's in charge?
Who in charge of Parliament? Parliament is kind of an independent body, right? They vote on it.
Yeah, pussyfoot around enough. You're pussyfooting around enough. The Prime Minister is the man to get things done. Right?
He was in charge of ADPEM during the hurricane, if that's what you're referring to.
Exactly, yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Immediately following, okay.
That's what I'm referring to.
So there's a lot
I'm wondering why 8 months down the line, and I see so much videos of some devastating videos about how people are, what they're going through currently.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering...
You've seen videos that were released recently?
Yeah, currently.
Okay. The ones I saw was from 5 months ago, but continue still.
So you and me see the same thing? So,
I don't know.
See what
I don't know what you say.
I'm talking about things that I saw, and you are now trying to say that I didn't see it. Are people who know persons who are actually still without shelter, still going through all of this, and you know them, comment and tell us the location. Because Jack just said, them past that stage and everything fix up. And
Michael Jackson you talk about, because me never said that. I'm questioning the videos that you saw, that's all.
I'm telling you that I've seen videos of places, and even there's this guy on TikTok even now still trying to get things and riding on his bike and assisting people.
That's good.
Current issue. And if at this stage, 2% after 8 months, what is he holding the fund for? I couldn't be for that.
And I think there's a lot of misinformation in the media. And it's not even misinformation. It's like the information is there, but it's not absorbed. That's not the primary focus, right? So people say this 1.8%, and what they don't look at is when the report was brought, was done, basically. So that report is actually as of February, right? So as of February, 1.8% of the budget was spent, right?
Oh,
I don't know
you're
how
saying
much of
that
the
you have
budget.
report. Hold on. Because if
I
you're
don't
going to
know how much of
contradict
the
a
budget
report,
spent. No, yeah.
if you're going to contradict a report, right? And this report is made news right now, and nobody come out and say, okay, that's from February. We have spent up to 40% now. Nobody come out and say that, but Jackson have the information to let us know that that's from February, and he will spend more of the budget leading up to now, right? You have that information.
Well,
Because if you're going
I
to
didn't say
discredit that
that.
information, you know, if you're going to
I didn't say
discredit that
that.
information, you must have
But I am
the
saying,
follow-through information.
so what I'm saying is actually factual, right? And what you're saying is, I'm not sure what you're saying, because
What
I
I'm
didn't say that.
saying is, if you're discrediting,
I am not
then you have
discrediting
more
it.
funds.
All I
It's
said
more
was
funds.
it is from February. I didn't even finish my trail of thought. You just
you
jump
did.
in.
You did. No, you said people are consuming things and they're consuming wrongfully, that the audit was done from February.
Well, you
And
just said 8 months
no.
later, right? Did you just say 8 months later?
And I'm saying up until now, the audit still stands. Only 2%
No,
of
that's what
use.
you say. You say up to 8. You say 8 months after, only 2% spend. That's what you just said. So
And it's the
I'm
same
just
thing-
clarifying
it's the
that because I
same
don't
thing
want
as
people to
just-
take you
Hold
out
on,
of
no.
context
It's the same thing. It's the
absorb
same
that
thing that I just
misinformation.
said. Hold on, Jackson. It's the same thing I just said. Up until now, 2% are still spent. It's the same thing I just said. I didn't change my story.
That is not accurate with her.
And again, if it's not accurate, up until now, based on your audit, how much I spent?
There is no way I can make a statement on that. All I can make a statement is
You
up
know,
until February
that
23rd.
you can't bring clarity to.
Anyway, so up until February 23rd, and this is the accurate information, only 1.8% of the budget was spent, right? We don't know what has been spent since then. But this story here is not that the 1.8 is not only that the 1.8 was spent, but it's also that there's a lot of poor record keeping with the government, right? And that gives you the perception of irregularities and, so people are thief things and pocket things.
So that you
that,
man.
I mean,
That you say, man, you go around it.
Gotcha. Let me finish now, sir.
You see, if you didn't
let me finish from
you see,
if you didn't let me finish from before, if you didn't finish from before, you wouldn't find yourself with your foot in your mouth right now. Yeah, that's what you say?
Never.
So all
Never.
I say is
we're not freaky. We're not freaky. Continue.
Yeah, all I'm saying is it is very possible send them a pocket money. We don't know, right? Because we don't have that information. But there's a perception of irregularity. There's a perception, say, something else are going. So it's kind of unfortunate because at the end of the day, this time and day where there's so much technological advance and high tech this and that, they want to digital ID and all them something there. And them can't keep a proper record of how money I spend. Right? So I don't think this is unique to this specific government. I think this is coming from, donkey years. I've never known of, all of
This is the thing I know. This is the thing I know. Like,
them in the chat.
Hold on.
You see, all of the Jamaican them are
I
listening.
told you on the show, man.
birthday,
You
just
man. You
comment.
talk to your while, man. I don't want to forget some of the points that I make.
So,
This is the
I'm not
thing.
responsible for your
Actually,
short-term memory.
I just write down a couple because you've been going away. So this is the thing I don't understand, right? When you call out something that is wrong, that you know is wrong, and then we contradict yourself and say it's been happening like this from the beginning of time, and don't talk about it. Allow it then, because if we are talking about the current issue, we should move towards fixing the current issue. It's like somebody do something wrong, right? And when they do something wrong, I talk to somebody, say, no, some do that and him very disrespectful, or she was very disrespectful. And then I'm going to say to you, I said time, long time. Are you condoning it? If we're talking about the current issue, let's not say why it's going on from the beginning of time, because that sounds like a justification. So if we are talking that proper reports need to be done and the transparency and we need to make sure that everything is transparent to the public at large and reports are given. Let's ask for that. Let's not say, boy, if I did the other government or that have gone from long time and No, it's not like we are justifying it. So if we are calling for clarity, we have to stick with that word of clarity. So I heard you say that, and I just want to make sure that.
No problem. All I was trying to say is that it's been going on for a while, and they have multiple opportunities to fix it. So, you know, I think right now is the ample time, is a proper time, especially because it is on the table now. People are seeing it. At time when you fix on a record system, man, and you know, as I was saying before, the people with 2 birthday, you know, the real birthday and the birthday with RGD get them. How old if people, you know what Jamaica, we know we have 2 birthday. Right? So there's a long time them something are going with poor record keeping. You see me? And you know, me just say this to say,
people were very hesitant. They're very hesitant in providing their donation because they were scared about this. All right. And people give their money to see some active, fast response. Nobody that believe that everything, there are stages, and we discussed the stages already. We're not expecting that they should do everything. But at this stage, more should have been done and more clarity should be given as it relates to the audit, to the people at this stage. Zin? Remember, I know.
Absolutely agree.
Remember, I know, when I time Ramesh move fast and assist people, the Prime Minister have to take shame out I am, but big up Ramesh saying you've been doing a good job.
yeah. And
so if the artists them can talk to them management and go in on them budget and then tour money and move a little faster, take the government have a right to do it. So that's how I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, but we, as long as we say that, we understand why. But Ramesh is able to move faster than the Prime Minister.
We don't know in pocket. We don't know if he's able to move fast.
Yeah. Well, Ramesh don't have nobody to answer to, right?
Oh, you know, so he have him accountant for answer. He have a company.
No. He not nobody to answer to.
Yes, you're sure you're biased.
No, it's not biased, you know, but you want to put little facts on the thing because at the end of the day, you understand, say, any money we spend. Because here's the thing.
It's one question.
See, no. But all right, hold your question. You see the 2% we spend the 1.8. You see the things that it was spent on, the roofing initiative and whatever the case is. There's a lot of questions about that too. Because now they're saying out of the 2 million, there's some of it that basically the JDF did not receive. They haven't signed off that they received it. So let's say them buy 10 sheet of zinc, right? JDF only shows them receive 8. So with the additional 2. And then out of the 8 we receive and then fix 400 roof, right? There is only documentation for like 300 roof. And again, these are I'm just giving an example. It's not the actual amount. But the reason I'm saying that is to say, even the amount that is accounted for, there's a lot of questions around it because of poor record keeping. You understand? So, me just feel like say, this is a bigger problem than the 2%.
And I do agree. And as I said, disaster money is given for means of urgency to help the people back on their feet. See? And the hurricane funds is not for ordinary or original or government development or programs. The hurricane money is for hurricane. Yeah, just want to put that out there. So if in any case, you know what I mean, and this is the beauty about common sense. At times we switch role, you know what I mean. We reason like the common man and we put facts to it to make sense. So we don't have to be around the way I talk. But listen me, I hope another smart city yeah do this thing fine. Hurricane money after hurricane. You understand? Hurricane money have to help the people who are in dire need and need assistance. That's what it is for. You understand? We don't want to take it because we want to try to build some up city and whatever the case may be when poor people are there want help and suffer. It's a funds given for natural disaster, urgent assistance. You see what I said? At this stage, 8 months in, we need more clarity. The people need more clarity. You see, once the clarity is given and it's fact checked, we don't have no problem.
I agree with that.
We don't want to guess spell at this moment. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
All right. Anyway, moving right along. The other thing we have.
Before we move along. I wonder if there's a specific reason why Andrew take over the ODPE.
If there's a specific reason why I'm taking it over, is he
Hey,
still in charge of it?
I don't know, but he did take it over, right?
Yeah,
In the
immediately.
midst of
So
the funds being transferred.
immediately after the hurricane, he did take it over, and the reason that it was transferred to him is to improve the speed of approvals and getting things done, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
man, the speed when I move right now, slow down, chop, slow down.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still in charge of it, but definitely, initially after the hurricane, he would have needed to be like that point of contact with sign off and get things done. So, for example, if you get the JDF mobilized and get
Exactly,
all of the
just to
relief
get it move
supplies
faster.
and
That's
all
why I
them
take
things.
it over.
Yeah.
It took it
Yeah,
over
yeah.
just for it to move faster. And questionable sign is no, it's not moving fast. So this is not a green or orange thing. We are
Well,
talking about the current issue. If
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was, I mean, I said Lisa and Lisa and if go back in the politics, Lisa and I mean, no disrespect to the PNP. But Lisa has had a better chance. Lisa and I, we love you, come back in the politics. But what I say is, if it was Lisa and yes, I say, whoever was in power, yes, I say, if that person was in power, no matter who, we are gonna call them out, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that things work. So this is not about a green thing or orange thing. Yes, I say, I'm not too deep in the politics. That's why you see here Jackson correct me certain way, but what I am is passionate about my people. You know, understand? So so no matter who we're not poor. This is not this is a Jamaica. See me? Jamaica thing. I have a flag, green, zin, black, and gold. That thing I talk about. Zin? Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I think he's still in charge of ADPEM now, still, right? But I don't know if they're still operating under the state of emergency powers or whatever, was in place after the hurricane. But going back to what I was saying initially, one of the things that's the most important, as me agree with you with that, is the transparency, ensuring that the Jamaican people actually know what is going on, how things are being spent, and there's record keeping and stuff where people can go back and look and say, okay, and I just JLP I get house, and I just JLP roof I fix kind of thing, right? We want the records for sure. Yeah, the records need to be there, because if it's not there, then we don't know what happened, and people are going to draw their own conclusion.
So Mark Golden, you there talk about the water, and Sir Mark Golden, Honorable Mark Golden, you were talking about the water the other day. And this more you talk about, Yeah? Yeah, a lot of water business I talk about this.
yeah. Anyway. But you know what? Going back to the hurricane thing as well, I just want to make a point, right? Them say Rome wasn't built in a day. Right?
Amen, brother. Amen. Hallelujah.
There's definitely a lot more that the government could have done to ensure they have temporary shelter. But if you're thinking about a long-term solution, because obviously if you get $1.8 billion, you can do something long-term with that, right? You can do something long-term with that.
Like
So
what, a smart city?
Not necessarily a smart city, but make sure say when the house them are building a place which part get no mudslide, which part go underwater like up the place up there, so which part the whole town did flood out underwater, right? Build on the shoreline where storm surge can come take it away. So and I understand that there's a lot of groundwork that has to be done before a long-term solution can be put into place. But from a temporary perspective, we feel like we can do better. Up a friendship, we have only people up there still, need some help up there, so same way. Up a Leety, up a Caps, all of them places, right? And I just sent it alone, right? A lot of places, people still need assistance, so definitely they can do.
Yeah, but why we emphasize on Senti is because Senti is the most greatly affected area.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We get in our music now. Because all of the things that go on in our music, we want to talk about it now.
Yo, dancehall, that's the man.
Yeah, man, that's
Yo,
how
me
hot
know
right
how
now,
going and
bro.
everything, but me have to say dancehall. I want me the artist them run down jail also.
Yo,
How about it? Them people say them spend a little time and come out like Kartel, like people are going book them for more money. Your alkaline album.
what's that?
I know something that test, you know. I know jail time.
No prison time.
No prison time.
No prison time. Jaja.
No prison time. Listen, man.
But,
That's
yeah,
them
man,
start
all
running.
the things are going, man. And in recent news, like over the span of the last year, at least like about four of them go jail, prison. No, not prison, jail. Right?
A lot of the artists get in that.
Yeah, and then on top of that now, I'll be a badness a push. Although dancehall, it has always been a bad place, you know.
No, you
Badness
see,
always a push in a dancehall for a super
you're
cat.
supposed to ban your song. Militant naturally. We're talking about that militant the same way, you know. Militant naturally, and you ban your song. But you can't take up artist business and go up on a stage and sing in front of strange people and say you're a bad man. That's not smart. So I said, no, I don't want to take up music. This man said, bad man, not left themselves careless and out in the home. So if you say you're a bad man, you need to load the music alone. Yeah, you can be militant without being a troublemaker. As I said, or defending what you believe. But when a man left, a man go do a song or a man make a talk and a man left go box up a man or gun butt a man, wife that still, or whatever the case may be. Them do something that's smart, You see me I say? It's not smart. But continue with the reasoning. We are reason.
Yeah.
Anything specific?
What you think about as you talk about nowadays, we go back in a time a little bit. What you think about the Ilangoli controversy we are going right now? Stephen.
Master! What kind of man? That's how she flip, that's how she slide, I make her push it inside, Hey, what a girl can ride, Hey, what a girl can ride. Triangle, I don't know what to do. I'm in love with the both of you. One no wicked rider. Remember nothing in a life, don't fret. You have to give in order to receive, so give me the look if you want me money. That's urgent. I better say about I better say about murder. Everybody, we go on a rhythm there and I talk about wet up and dig out and kiss and cooking. What you're basically doing to the culture is you're pissing on the grave of Miss Lou. Just imagine that.
It's Stephen, because
you see the podcast, I'm talking about it. All right, so we're talking about that different. The controversy about the songs them and I see a video come out where Fae Ellington, that's her name? Yeah, Fae Ellington, you know, a cultural ambassador over the years, a very potent Jamaican media person, saying that, you know, her outrage against the discourse of the type of lyrics that is using with such historical and cultural beat. And she's, you know, talking about the discourse as relates to the artists and how they are utilizing this beat of the people that kids dance to when they're having festivals and all these things, and they're putting these words and rhymes to it that pollutes. I emphasize on the pollute, that pollutes the genuine, authentic feel of the Ilangoli. But one thing I want to ask her, I understand that the rhythm is out there, and we mentioned that in the podcast when it's out there and everybody doing all type of things, and it's not structured. These are the things that come out of things that are not structured. No, she stated that she's disappointed, but one to the producer we have put out the song. Not all the ones that you don't have control of. I saw him did an interview on Entertainment and he was saying that it's not the songs that he's putting out because he had the clean version. The fact that the guy clean version, I usually have to have a version. If if you don't know what me tell you, the fact that you got clean version and you have the radio version and you have whatever, that's what you're talking about. Because the most outstanding songs that you'd heard is not the ones where people are trying to get a local buzz there or whatever. The most outstanding one is the one that you put out. That is well marketed. Is she right? He mentioned in the interview, the same interview, saying that dancehall always reflect the no time. So dancehall pass through different stages. Or the music of Jamaica pass through. We're talking about the ska, the mentor, you name it, pass through different stage, and whatever is happening now, dancehall will reflect what is happening now. And normally it causes outrage. That is true, but with that being true, is it a case where she believed that we could have been more creative and not take something that's so culturally dear to the roots of Jamaica and be more creative in it instead of talk about in or out and the woman private part and the bag of something? Yes, it could have been a different approach, because that, and that's why I talk about the producer. People talking about, this is what my opinion is. This is watering down dancehall, because when you have something that is not controlled, it will bring chaos. And that's why I like when, as a producer, you're involved. You not just look for big name, you're involved in producing a project. Because as a producer, you can't say that the artist wants to sing and you put it out or whatever the case. You as the producer have the right to
say no.
No, artists, but their changes are so something this more suggestive.
Hear my question though with her.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Hilangoli rhythm better than all of the other rhythm them where them do slackness fan? Like what's the significance, or what why is it such a taboo rhythm where you can taboo in a good way, where you can it's
Right,
okay to sing cultural song on it, but you can't sing the raw
I don't think she's
unfiltered
asking
version
for
of
actually
dancehall.
cultural. I don't think she's asking for actually cultural. And I think I make it clear why it makes it different. Because let's look at, for example, if they're using a rhythm that is one of those known producer back in the days, Dana Van or whoever that has that beat.
Yeah.
And I just like how they do the Fiesta rhythm, or you name whatever rhythm. And me as the original or originator of the rhythm, so listen, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that to the beat. Even though we don't have any cultural residence with the people, I still have the right to. So the fact that this, I don't think she's asking for cultural songs. She's just asking for more creativity. Because in today's dancer, the more raw and vulgar you are, or brawling you are, that's all music. Nobody's using lyrical cadence to be more suggestive or not put everything out there, leave some things to the imagination. So this could be exercise, knowing that these young kids that used to hear are in primary and here, you can go ride on them do it at the festival. No, they're not going to ride on it again.
Well, let's
hear something
that's true. That's true, but say a lot of those kids, they don't actually know the Hilangoli song. Let's start there.
No, man, it's still happening at school, man. I'm still in time there's festival
the dance
and
mentor,
performance.
The mentor,
yeah.
Right? Mentor. But they're not dancing to Hilangoli Rido. That song is not being played in schools as far as I know. Right?
What about schools in that?
I went to school.
We're not talking when Donkey was the main
Donkey, we travel from school too. Anyway, anything you want to say with that, but that song was not being played in school. I don't like me to tell. I just facts, right?
Well, for me,
they play
it
mentor.
Was played in my school.
They play Hilangoli Ride in your school?
Yes, in my school we used to perform this. I performed this in primary. High school, American Rebellious.
You sure it wasn't mentor that they were playing?
The same Hilangoli song, because they're festival and we go pantomime and them the different place go perform. Yes, yeah. Those things were
Hilangoli Ride.
Yes, music classes.
Yeah, first I get that. At
in
first,
the
I get
in
that one there,
Teachers
but
College. Comment
I,
if
yeah.
yeah. But continue. Sorry,
At
I
first,
was
I hear
talking
that.
for a while.
But we know say mentor for sure. They play mentor, right? And if you go back in history, even as Steve, I think Steven said it on ER as well. One of the first songs to ever get banned on radio was a mentor song.
We're not talking about the mentor song.
But you can't talk about Hill and
We are
Gully
talking
Rider
about
is not a gospel
historical
song.
song. We are
Hill
talking
and
about
Gully
historical
Rider
beat.
is not a gospel song, right?
No, but
Right?
so you're saying that the artists are right to be brawling or vulgar on it.
I'm not saying they have a right. No. Well, they do have a right, right?
So you have to make a
Because freedom
stop.
of
What you
speech.
saying?
So they do have a right, right? But another
Okay.
me I talk about. What I'm talking about is the fact say, as far as I know, the cultural significance of Hill and Gully Ride has to do with media and entertainment, right? Yes, that is part of Jamaica's culture. Yes, it's a part of Jamaican history. But it's not like it is a gospel song, right? Beanie Man did I sing Shake That Booty in the Name of Jesus.
Let me ask
Elephant
you a
Man
question. Let me
did
ask
I
you this
sing You're
question.
Too Bad Mind, You're
You
Too
keep
Bad
on
Mind.
saying
So
gospel
you have a lot. Dancehall has
Do you
always
have
been
to have
dabbling.
gospel for you to have morals?
No, but that song that have
Okay.
nothing to do with. And I
So
like
if it's a case
yeah.
that if it's a case that we are gonna say it's not a gospel song, there are a lot of songs that inspires me that are not gospel songs. What I'm saying is the cultural relevance where this beat come from. And if we want to preserve culture, because Jamaica is losing its culture as we go along.
The beat is mental.
Hold on,
All right,
hold on,
continue.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
We are losing our culture as we go along. So if it's a case where there any festival or anything where this song is gonna keep and they're gonna perform this in a dance move and whatever, you think this is gonna use the original or they're gonna go for the raw songs?
But I'm trying to say they don't have to dance to Hill and Gully Ride. Them can dance to an next mentor song. I will if a mentor song.
The discussion is not about other mentor songs.
Mentor is not a rhythm.
That's what you asked me about. You didn't ask me about
mentor is a genre.
You didn't ask me about mentor the genre. You asked me about Hill and Gully rhythm, the beat. That's what you asked about. That's what I'm answering you about.
Yeah, but they don't have to dance to that. Them can dance to something else if they feel like it go south, go east or west or whatever. Them can dance to something else.
I think she has the right. You talk about freedom of speech. I think she have a right to mention how she feel about it. And I think at some given point, artists have to take responsibility. I remember when I used to sing some lot of songs, and one day I hear my daughter sing one of my songs, and I nearly dropped down. I nearly turned over. I said, Jaja, I'm going to start widening my catalog. Why? Suppose I the wrong song she hear and sing. You know what I mean? So at some point in time, we have to take some form of responsibility. Because, and this is why I talk about certain level of militancy, because people just have to say the craziest thing to get shock value and do shock value. Even the great king of dancehall, Vybz Kartel, I do some things for shock value where look shaky and the militancy gone out of dancehall. It's like anything for trend or for public outrage or rage bait or clickbait. It's like that's why the youths them. Remember, I know Kartel is one of the man where bring the militancy. One of the artists that bring militancy, you know. And people argue saying come with bleach.
What you define as militancy?
That's what I'm gonna say. That's why I say people argue and talk about man. You ever hear this thing? I wanted to insert the clips for people them say. Man feel act like man. Man not behave like jellyback. There are certain things when a man is militant, he doesn't do certain things to act that look feminine and doesn't act manly. If a man to come out on the media in underpants, it's me I say a dance and whatever. You're a strong influence. And I remember we have beat the youth them for TikTok, we are going with them something there, you know. And I do all them things there, and I say, yo, dance all accept them thing there, but you know as a king.
The same people that we beat the people them on TikTok. No, the same people where accept the people on TikTok I beat the man, but continue.
So when it comes to the king, I'm the king now, you know. I say my king, man. That is not kingly like, man. So that's what I'm talking about. There has to be some Jamaica gonna lose its morals because everything gonna become social media hype and trends. You know what I mean? The youths them a dance like girl now. They want to wear purse. It's a huge cultural shift. And that's why I said, again, going back to the statement that they make, not everything has to be Christianity, but you have morals and you know the stance to take.
So you see Kartel as someone that have high moral value?
No, I didn't say that. I'm talking about our culture and acceptance of our culture.
You have to manage the expectations because he himself.
I don't really have any expectation of anybody. What I can do is, and that's why I've been telling us that gatekeeping important. I said with gatekeeping certain things that go out and certain
so a gatekeeper would have stopped that.
Yeah, man. If he's around Bunty that time, say, yo, you can't do them something there, brother. Low, brother, them take the shake it. Bunty that's a shake it. Kartel. What you do? What you do?
Yes.
Get down that Kartel, you can't alliance and do them thing then. So
I
that's
really
what
think,
gatekeeping.
I really think. Well, at the end of the day, I don't hold any Kartel to any morally high value still. You understand what I say? You know, at the end of the day, he was the one that also said, listen, don't use me as an example for raising a pitney. Raising a pitney on myself. My pitney, them I go to private school, them bright, them I get ones and all them things, them subject, them I go university and whatever. Right? So you're responsible for your child. Anyway, not saying that children are going to do that, but I'm just saying that, I don't hold him to any high moral value. You understand? Not and that doesn't mean that I'm expecting.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, man. Let me finish. No, let me finish, man.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean that I'm expecting him to do that or I'm endorsing him doing that. But at the same time, right? He has his Instagram just like how everybody else have them Instagram. So if I do things I wouldn't like, gonna unfollow him.
So let me ask you a question. I don't follow Kartel not for no reason. I don't follow a lot of artists. See it?
Well, anybody will post Kartel.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
But there are media house that has the clip and so forth. And when I'm thinking, I'm not just thinking, I don't know if you are people like Kartel think about on yourself. I think about the generation, the gingeration. See? I'm going to think about certain things that we accept in the space and if we don't speak out against it, we're going to have chaos. So I don't look on it and say, oh, for me picnic good, some of the business about food picnic. Because at the end of the day, we all make up this world, and especially look at Jamaica, we still have some local morals and we want them hold on to it. You understand me? Because the youths them nowadays, the dance them we make nowadays, the man them are whine and a move like girl. And somebody that is seen as militant will say, yo, one of the biggest songs about a certain boy. We know, yeah? Jano. You know the song them. I don't want to say song, but if I want a song and then you go hold like that, come on, fam.
Well,
and that's why I say a lot of people are selective outrage.
It looks shaky.
What I know, which of selective outrage is serious?
Yeah.
When Shaggy come out in a curtain shot.
No, man, they don't about Shaggy, man. What are you talking about?
Beat Shaggy wicked. I don't beat him wicked. Shaggy talk about how people are like threatening for doing things. Shaggy. We see if the youths them, but yeah, Shaggy, interview I say, yo, people are threatening to say, when them see him, what am I going to do, man? Them a fish and other lives. And Shaggy, I say, I look upon it, man, I say, yo, if you can't deal with Shaggy, so. And when Kartel do it, I say, do it for woman, and if you stop pay Kartel, man, woman, them do it for. So, when Shaggy wearing pink and he shot him, do it for the woman, them too. You want them sexy. On a selective outrage, man. Or if you don't have standard for certain things, can't have certain things.
Like, you have other artists as well that even, you have other artists where sing and say certain things where outrageous in a dancehall. And until today, them dancehall still ostracize them. I have them for the outskirts.
And that's the thing I talk about you.
So
that's the thing I talk
about
understand
you. If they can hold all of those different artists and burn them out also, then if you burn out Kartel, same way too. Yeah, man.
So you burn them out, you think you're wrong?
Of course. It's wrong in my... Like, as a man, me don't want to see that. right? But him having right. A film platform that me can't tell him what to do, a big man.
I'm gonna go up on the post and pull up your comment and see what they say again. Hold on. Let's say your comment this say again.
So what?
I'm gonna comment this right as well.
So what?
I laugh and I enjoy yourself with my dad. Like you listen.
I must somebody else that care me.
But for that joke aside, a lot of people have to understand, say, listen, man, we don't have to have accountability is very important, you know. Accountability is very important. And as I say, it come like when I mentioned in the last podcast, when a youngster burn out certain liberty and say still like a study pork. It can't work. If you're standing for righteousness and whatever religion or moral you're standing for, don't have just one thing, have multiple things. Stick to it. But you can't select your outrage on one and don't select it on the other. You have to select it right way. If Sizzle have burn one thing, man burn everything. Keep it on burn one thing, man burn everything. If it's certain life, you know. Hey, continue. Come on over there. Continue.
I have an idea still. You see, if you see Sizzler come out, you'll never see that still. You're not going to see Sizzler do that. You're not going to see Capleton. Yo, if you see Capleton, come out and do something like that.
We give up.
I'm mental hospital going to come pick him up, man.
The change.
I'm most mad to blow. But like people like that, you know, you see, if you see like a Capleton or a Sizzler or a Anthony B or somebody like that, come out and do the madness, then when I say, yo, come on.
We're not trouble. Listen, we're not trouble.
You understand? But we not will cartel to no moral I go on, man. The man they do what I feel like, brother. You see me?
It's expected, kind of the morals.
There you go.
Okay. Let's see that man.
No, I never say that. I never say I have no morals. I say I have no moral high ground. Yeah. Anyway, that is it, people. Thanks for joining us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. With I have nothing to say.
Yes. Once you're watching, take nothing out of you for just click the like button and leave a comment and subscribe, and I can share with a couple of people same way. You know what I mean? And as relates to that, we'll try to put out more content as much as possible. And when you do these things, it encourages us to continue. You know what I mean? Because, say, Jackson a big Gaza fan. I don't want him to say you common sense now get the attention him have to go dance in a female underpants stuff. You know what I mean? We don't want him to reach that level. So, I know the Gaza fan and follow anything my teacher say, you know what I mean? But common sense make it make sense. But this is how it goes.
Wagwan, this is Elaine representing from 4BD. It's all about the best in men's fashion. Ladies, come here and get your men some amazing clothes. Men, come fix up yourself and nice up for your life and your wife and all these things. Look here, this nice scene. Ooh, yes, honey. That's something man so weird. 4BD. This is where you have to be. No glow. Mwah.